Hello everyone! Let's start our lesson for today with a story problem about online enrollment. A school's online enrollment shows that for every 5 boys enrolled in the school, there are 10 girls who are also enrolled. If there is a total of 1,000 girls enrolled, how many boys are there? For us to solve this problem, we have to first analyze it. So in this problem, we are asked to find the number of boys enrolled in the school if there are 1,000 girls who are also enrolled. This given alone will not be able to help us solve the problem. We have to take note as well of the other given, which is for every 5 boys enrolled in the school, there are 10 girls who are also enrolled. But how will we use this given in answering the problem? Do you have any idea? Great job! We will use the concept of proportion. But before we answer the problem, let's learn some key concepts about proportion. A proportion is a statement that tells 2 or more ratios are equal. A proportion can be written in the form A over B, this is our first ratio, equals C over D, this is our second ratio. Again, for us to consider them proportional, they should be equal. We can also write a proportion in the form A colon B, this is our first ratio, equals C colon D, this is our second ratio. And again, these 2 ratios should be equal for them to be considered proportional. We have to take note as well that in a proportion, we have what we call extremes and means. The outer terms in a proportion are the extremes. In this case, those are A and D. And the inner terms in a proportion are called means. In this case, those are B and C. Now let's go back to our story of the day. Again, we are asked to find the number of boys enrolled in the school if there are 1,000 girls enrolled. And we also have the given for every 5 boys, there are 10 girls who are enrolled in the school. Now remember that for us to solve this problem, we will use the concept of proportion. And proportion is a statement that tells us 2 ratios are equal. So for our first task, we have to look for 2 ratios in our problem. So let's start with this given here. Okay, this is a ratio because it is stated here that for every 5 boys, there are 10 girls. So we can write it as the ratio of boys to girls. And that will be 5:10. So again, this is the number of boys and this is the number of girls. And this ratio here should be equal to the other ratio which we can get from the problem. And what ratio is that? That will be the ratio of boys to girls as well. But this time, there are 1,000 girls and the number of boys is unknown. So if we will write it in ratio, that will be equal to n is to 1,000. Again, since the number of boys is unknown, we will use n to represent the value of the boys. So for our second ratio, we will have n is to 1,000. And our proportion now is 5:10 equals n is to 1,000. Now be very careful in writing your proportion. If you wrote boys first in the first ratio, you should also write first the boys in your second ratio. Now, if you want to write first the girls, just make sure that in your first ratio, you will write first the girls before the boys, and in your second ratio, we'll also write first the girls before the boys. In computing for the value of n, you may use either of the 2 proportions here. Now, how will we compute for the value of n? That is the next key concept that you should always remember when we're talking about proportion. In a proportion, let us always remember that the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So if our proportion is A is to B equals C is to D, the product of the extremes will be A times D and the product of the means will be B times C. And again, remember that A times D should be equals to B times C. Now let's solve. Let us use the first proportion we formulated earlier, and that is 5 is to 10 equals n is to 1000. So using the key concept you just learned earlier, we will multiply the extremes and the means. So we'll have 5 times 1000. This should be equal to 10 times n. 5 times 1000 will give us 5000. But for the case of 10 and n, we cannot multiply them yet because we do not know the value of n. But we know that 5000 is equal to 10 times n. And from here, we can already find the value of n. When you were in your lower grade level, you learned that for us to find a missing number in a multiplication sentence like this, we will have to do division. Okay, so we will look for a number that when multiplied by 10 will give us 5000. And again, for us to do that, we will have to divide the product here and this factor here. So that will be 5000 divided by 10. 5000 divided by 10 will give us 500. So the value of n is 500. And for us to check if our answer is correct, let's just substitute it to our proportion. So we'll have here 500 is to 1000. Let's multiply the extremes and the means. 5 times 1000, that will give us 5000. 10 times 500 will also give us 5000. Since their products are equal, that means the value of n we got is correct. Therefore, if there are 1000 girls enrolled, then there are 500 boys enrolled in the school. If you will use 10 is to 5 equals 1000 is to 500, or 1000 is to n, you will also get the same answer as this one, provided that you will do the operations properly. Now let's have some more examples. Tell whether the given is a proportion or not. Write P if your answer is proportion and NP if not. For us to check if this given is a proportion, again, we will just use the concept we learned, which states that the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means. So let's multiply 6 and 3, and it should be equal to 9 times 21. 6 times 3 is 18, while 9 times 21 will give us 189. Are they equal? It's very obvious that they are not. Therefore, this given here is not a proportion. Let's have the next one. So again, we will just multiply the extremes and the means. You can get the product of the means first before the product of the extremes. That will just be the same. So let's try 3 times 32. Then 4 times 24. 3 times 32 will give us 96, while 4 times 24 will give us 96 as well. Are they equal? Of course they are. Since they are equal, then this is a proportion. Now let's have the other example, or the next example. Again, we will just multiply the extremes and the means. We have 3 times 15 and 5 times 9. Again, you can interchange the two ratios, or these two here. You can have 5 times 9 before 3 times 15. So 3 times 15 will give us 45, and 5 times 9 will also give us 45. Since they're equal, therefore this is a proportion. Now let's try this one. Find the value of n in the following proportions. So we have here 24 is to n equals 6 is to 4. Again, for us to find the value of n, we will just use the concept we learned wherein the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means. Okay, so let's have 24 times 4 is equal to n times 6. 24 times 4 is equal to 96. Then we cannot multiply n and 6. But we know that 96 is equal to n times 6. That means we will look for a number that when multiplied to 6 will give us 96. And for us to do that, we will divide 96 and 6. 9 times 6 is, or 9 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Then we have here 6. Therefore, the value of n is 16. And for us to check if our answer is correct, okay, this is 16. We will just multiply these 2. Okay, so we'll now have 24 times 4. We already know that it's 96. Now let's check if 16 times 6 will also give us 96. Okay, this will be 16 times 6. Okay, let's solve here. 16 times 6, that is 36. And 6 times 1 plus 3 is also 96. So we have 96 is equal to 96. Therefore, the value of n we got is correct. Let's try another example. So we have here 5 times n should be equal to 6 times 20. So we have 5 times n is equal to 6 times 20. Okay, we cannot multiply 5 and n, so we'll just copy it. 6 times 20 will give us 120. So we will look for a number that when multiplied by 5 will give us 120. And for us to do that, we will just simply divide 120 and 5. Okay. This is the product, so it should be our dividend. So 120 divided by 5 will give us, this will be 2, then we'll have 4. Okay, so the value of n is 24. Let's check if our answer is correct. 5 times 24 is equal to 120. We already have it here. 24 times 5 will give us 120. Okay, so this is equal. Therefore, the answer is 24. Let's try another one. 3 is to 6 equals n is to 36. Again, let's just multiply the extremes and the means. 3 times 36 should be equal to 6 times n. 3 times 36 is 108, and it will be equal to 6 times n. Again, for us to find for the missing value of n, we will just divide the product and this factor here. So that will be 108 divided by 6. This will give us 18. Okay, so the value of n is equal to 18. And for us to check, we will just simply multiply 6 and 18. Okay, 6 times 8, that will be 48, and that's 108. So we have here equal. Okay, therefore, the value of n we got is correct. Let's try another one. We have n times 36 and 12 times 15. Okay, n times 36 will be copied. 12 times 15, this will give us 180 rather. Then we will divide 180 by 36. So we have 180 divided by 36. This will give us 5. Okay, we'll have 5. So the value of n is equal to 5. Let's try our last example. N times 16 and 8 times 18. So let's solve for the value of n. Again, the product of the extremes should be equal to the product of the means for these two ratios here to be proportional. Okay, so we have n times 16. We cannot multiply them. 8 times 18. That will give us 144. Okay, for us to find the value of n, we will divide 144 and 16. Let's try 9. 9 times 6, that's 54. 9 times 1 plus 5, that's 14. Okay, so the value of n is 9. Wow, you are all awesome. Okay, thank you for listening.